This is going to be part 3 to the tutorial on selling puts. So part 1 just covered the basics of what puts and calls, buying and selling means and what the risks are. Part 2 covered how I sell Apple puts, and it's just how I do. It's not a recommendation to anyone. It has worked for me very well in the past. It's worked particularly well this year. But I said I wasn't going to talk about the Black Scholes equation that determines the movement of options. What causes the price of options to go up and down other than the price of the underlying stock? Because when a stock goes up $1, the options don't go up $1, the puts don't go down $1, and so forth. For that, you need to understand the principles of the factors. They're not factors, but it's the equation which is based on delta, gamma, theta, rho. Now, delta is the amount that an option will move for every dollar of the underlying stock. And the gamma tells you if that $1 move takes place, what will the effect on the delta be at that new price, $1 up or $1 down? So here's why selling puts can be better than holding the stock. If you're looking purely for maximum profit, you trade with stock. If you're looking for risk minimization, then you work with options, bearing in mind that selling puts is extremely risky. However, let's look at an example. So here I've got a simulated position right down at the bottom. I've got a simulated position of buying 500 shares at $196. That's the current trading price for Apple. Let's just lock that in. And we can see the equation for this is, here's the current price. If it goes down $5, you're going to lose $500. $5, 500 shares, you're going to lose, $2,500. 500 shares, $5, you're going to lose $2,500. However, if I trade, and our profit, of course, if it goes up $5, I'm going to make $2,500. But let's look at taking the short options that I have, which is next week's 195 puts. And we're going to compare that to the one that we just saw. So remember that the stock one was just a pure line that was, that cut the x-axis at a 45-degree angle, and price and earnings were directly proportional, right? Go up $5, make $5. This isn't the case when you're working with options. So now the Apple is trading at, let's say, it's 195.92. Let's say it's 196. My current position would be today of making $0. It actually shows that today I'm making $282 because I just rolled into this trade about 15, 20 minutes ago. It's already making $265. If the price drops suddenly by $5, will I lose $2,500? No, I won't. My loss will be $1,220. So I'll have lost about $1,500 instead of $2,500. So when I decide, hell, I'm getting out, I don't have to sell 500 shares and lose 2,500. I buy back the puts and only lose 1,500. Now, why is that? That's delta. Let's look at what the delta, look at the bottom. Let's look at what the delta for 500 shares is. It's 500, because for every dollar that the stock goes up, that the price goes up, my value for the stock is going to go up by $1. So 500 shares, $500. However, let's look at this line here, the blue line. Short 195 puts, the delta is only 220. So when the price drops by $1, I'm going to lose $220 per contract, not $500 for 500 shares. Sorry, not per contract, but for my 5 contracts, I would lose $219. So this delta represents the delta for 5 contracts, which is equivalent to 500 shares. It's the delta that determines how much you're going to lose. The delta for stock is 100. The delta for the options is going to be less. The delta is going to change with time and with price, and that's why this pink line and the blue line eventually merge, because if the price were to get up to 205 today, these options would have a delta of 100. If the price were to get down to 185, the delta would be 100. At that point, the puts start working like stock, exactly like stock. And that's when you don't want to be in them. You want to either take your profit, roll, or take your loss. So I hope you understand the difference between delta for a stock and delta for a put, an option, and how working with options provides you the greatest risk if you're selling, but for short moves, for brief moves, it provides you less risk than holding the stock. Hope you know what I mean.